Hi guys, I'm Jenna and I'm here with my dogs Coda and Riza, and we're here to talk about GPS fences. I started dog training about 10 years ago and I did my certification through Animal Behavior College. I graduated in 2018 and brought Riza along the journey with me. So I got Riza at 10 weeks old and we did a mentorship with a company in Kitchener, Ontario, and then he ended up being a therapy dog for about 5 years and even got to fly on an airplane. So when we moved to Alberta, he came along with me, and then we adopted Coda after a couple years of fostering and rescuing some dogs through various rescues. I live in Alberta, Canada, and we rent. We've got about 4 acres here, and as you can see, it's a pretty wooded area. So we wanted to be able to safely let our dogs out and be able to roam around without worrying about it. As a dog trainer, I wanted something that I could take with me because my dogs come everywhere with me when we go adventuring. And so the awesome part about living in Alberta is that we do have Crown land here and we can go traveling and camping on the Crown land. And taking our dogs with us is something that we really want to be able to do. As renters, we wanted to be able to have something that was reliable, that we could trust even in the woods. And so the GPS collars allow us to do that without having to dig up the property line for an underground fence or install a physical fence.
Alberta can get several feet of snow, and so underground fencing can be really unreliable with such unpredictable winter conditions.
We originally went with the Halo collar because we really liked the price. When doing some online comparison, Halo versus SpotOn, Halo was definitely more appealing in regard to the price because of the similar options that both collars had, but we ultimately went with the Halo collar because of the indoor beacons and the activity tracking. Since then, we ran into some issues and we wanted to learn more about GPS fence as professionals. Our clients have been really curious about what's out there, and so we wanted to test out what was on the market. Here's what I've learned and want to share with you. GPS fence collars are great for people who have large properties like ourselves, who want to take them on the go and who want an affordable option for fencing that they also don't have to dig up every time they want to change it. There's all sorts of GPS collars out there, and so when it comes to the safety of your dog, you want to make sure that you're comparing the pros and cons of all the collars and all of their capabilities. So when it comes to the SpotOn and the Halo collars, there's a lot of similarities. Obviously, they're both GPS fence collars, and so you'll get an app with the collar itself that will tell you where your dog is and allow you to draw a perimeter on your property. Both collars are capable of tracking your dog and letting you know where they are at all times. The bonus part of that is that they're waterproof, so even if you have water on your property, then they're still able to track your dogs. You're going to get escape notifications on that app to let you know if they've left the perimeter. And then there's also a recall whistle that allows you to train your dog to respond to the sound of the whistle in their collar, and they'll recall back to you. So there are some differences between the SpotOn and the Halo collar. First of all, the SpotOn collar is going to cost you less over time. Halo actually has a mandatory subscription that you have to opt into to use any of the features on the app. SpotOn does not have that. You don't have to be subscribed to them to be utilizing the GPS fence feature of your collar, which is the most important feature. With SpotOn, the only feature that you have to pay for is the tracking feature. So if you want to track your dog at all times and their activity, then there is a subscription for that feature, but the collar itself and the GPS fence still work without. With Halo's basic plan, you get 5 fences. With SpotOn, you get an unlimited amount of fences.
One of the things that I really love about the Spot On collar is the off-grid mode. So somebody that lives in Alberta, Canada, we can go camping in the Rockies on Crown land, and so you're not going to get a lot of cell service in that area. The Spot On collar works with a antenna that connects to the collar so that you can use it without any cell service or internet service. Halo offers the option to have off-limit areas in your home with the beacons, which are little AirTag type devices that you'd place in the areas that you want off limits. As somebody that owns a split level home, we have 3 levels. I found that we weren't able to actually utilize the beacons because they were communicating on all 3 levels and not just in the area that I wanted. One of the biggest differences for us was the precision of the GPS function on the collar. So SpotOn has deliberately invested in their dual feed GPS antenna, which excels in wooded areas like our backyard. SpotOn was the first GPS fence collar available on the market. They actually invented the technology about 5 years ago in 2019. Their company has a background in US military technology, and so that's where the accuracy of the collars comes from. Their in-house support team has been absolutely amazing so far. We had a bit of an issue with the charging dock, and they sent us a new one immediately, which was great. Because they're manufactured in the US, shipping was quick, and we didn't have to wait long at all for our products. Halo released their collar about a year after SpotOn, so they're about 4 years old. They're endorsed by Cesar Millan and ship their collars directly from Taiwan. As dog trainers, we were quickly able to notice that the collar was failing in areas that were really important to us, including the warnings and the boundary. Once given the opportunity to try a SpotOn collar, we quickly noticed the difference in quality between the 2 collars and the ability to receive correct notifications and warnings, boundaries, alerts. Let's talk about costs. One reason that we made the switch between Halo to SpotOn was because I didn't want to have to pay for the collar I'd already paid for once. Halo requires you to have a subscription in order to utilize the collar. SpotOn has the option for a subscription, but it's not a mandatory subscription. It's just there in case you want to track your dog or have a good cell service in order to track your dog. But essentially, the collar will work for the rest of your dog's lifetime without that subscription when you go with SpotOn. Some people might be a little bit worried about the higher price tag of the SpotOn collar, just like we were. But after getting an opportunity to try the SpotOn collar, it really showed the difference and why we should have invested in the first place. SpotOn is manufactured in the USA and their support team is right in New Hampshire. SpotOn offers a 90-day return option, a 1-year warranty, as well as a free replacement in case something happens. You never know, your dog could shake it off and chew up the collar, but they'll send you a new one. I also want to mention that you can get free training with your SpotOn collar, even with us. Now let's talk about Halo. Halo looks cheaper when comparing them up front, but once you start diving a little bit deeper, you'll see that Halo actually costs far more over time than SpotOn will ever cost you. We took a deep dive at owning both Halo and SpotOn over the course of 1 year. Here's what we discovered. SpotOn's going to cost you about $1,094 with the tracking subscription included. Without that subscription, it's going to be about $1,000. With that, you're going to receive the option of a free replacement collar. You're going to have unlimited fences available to you and multiple outdoor keep-out zones. You can also find a discount code down in the description below. Halo is going to cost you about $1,062. You're going to receive a year gold plan as well as the option for a replacement collar for an additional $150. Halo offers 1 keep-out zone with the beacons. At $39 each, you can get additional beacons. When you look at the cost of ownership beyond a year, SpotOn offers more value for less. Lots of different GPS collars out there, but We've tested them, and I can tell you that SpotOn is the most accurate. SpotOn is 7 times more accurate. I can't stress enough how important it is to invest in high quality technology when it comes to your dog's care. Take our dog Coda. When utilizing the other collars, we found that the incorrect corrections and warnings were causing confusion and misunderstanding as to where the boundary ended and started. SpotOn was tested by an independent lab used by NASA and Garmin. SpotOn was found to be 7 times more accurate, and its warnings were found to be 6 times more consistent. I am not a GPS expert, so if I get any of this wrong, just bear with me. But SpotOn uses a dual feed antenna that allows the Bluetooth and the cellular systems to not be interfered with, even in wooded areas like our backyard. Let's talk about accuracy. All GPS fences are susceptible to the boundary line drifting. So having a collar that you can trust that the signal is correct is imperative. As a dog trainer, I know that consistency is key. I want tools that I can rely on, especially when it comes to any type of electronic collar. Sometimes the warnings would work exactly how they were supposed to with the Halo collar, but other times they wouldn't. And so that inaccuracy was enough for me to stop using it. Coda was caught off guard and afraid of what might happen if he got close to or out of the boundary. And so we just couldn't continue to use that product anymore. With SpotOn, it's a whole different experience. I know my dogs are going to get a heads up when they're getting close to that boundary, giving them a solid 10 feet of audio cues before they even get a correction. It's changed my dog's behavior. He's now excited to go outside and have space to run around on our 4 acres. The trust between me and my dog has grown, and now I know he's not going to go near my chickens or leave my property. The keep out zones is probably one of my favorite features. I've got a big coop and I've got rabbits and chickens, and if he was able to get over there, I would no longer have rabbits or chickens. I'm so excited to go camping this year and know that my dogs are going to be safe and able to roam with me. They have really, really good recall, and so I want to be able to let them use that recall without having to have a leash on them at all times. In Alberta, we have all sorts of wildlife, from bear to deer. We want to make sure our dogs aren't getting too far away from us when camping. One of the cool things about being able to camp on Crown land is that you can pull off on the side of the road and find a nice spot. Now, this does mean that you're going to be close to the road, and so I want to be able to trust that my dogs are not going to be able to get onto that road for obvious reasons. I'm so excited to share my journey with the SpotOn collar with you guys over the next year. We'll be going on lots of off-leash adventures in the mountains, hanging out in our beautiful backyard, and even assisting our clients with this product. If you're interested in a SpotOn collar, check out the link in the description below for our affiliate code and exclusive discounts. If you got any questions, let us know in the comments below so we can chat. Happy training!